Can we have Stan Hennigar Jr. come to the stage, please? Still see your wife spinning right around in the circle right back in. All right. He's won championships in 3 different team sports, 2 of them Canadian titles and 1 a provincial crown. He's won Most Valuable Player awards in 2 different team sports. He's been an all-star in a national championship in yet another team sport. This is all-around athlete Stan Hennigar Jr., a man who in one single year, when he was a bit younger than today, played 3 sports. Fastball for the champion Midtown Juniors at the National Junior Championships, football for the St. Mary's University Huskies of the Atlantic University Sport, and hockey for both a Canadian Junior A championship team and for the American Hockey League's Nova Scotia Voyageurs, the #1 farm team of the Montreal Canadiens. He could play them all and play them all very, very well. John Patterson actually grew up with Stan in Halifax's North End. Take a look.
Everything Stan did, he excelled at and was top in his age group. So, fastball to football. Stan could throw it 45 yards on a line when he was 12 years old. So, he's just a gifted athlete. And you put him on a playing field, you put him on a rink, and it's like a switch is turned. And he's probably one of the most intense people I've ever seen play sports. Now, you get him away from the field or the ice, and he's the most mild-mannered, nicest guy you'd ever meet. But certainly, intensity would be one of the words that would best describe Stan in his playing career.
So for 2 decades, it was summer on the fastball diamond and winter on the ice with a bit of fall football thrown in. Stan was bigger than many of the young men with whom he played and more intense than most. Here once again is John Patterson.
Not only the physical talent that he was blessed with, but the intensity and the emotional fortitude he brought to the game. When you're 10 and 11 years old, some kids are out there kind of just goofing around and having it for fun. Stan played to be the best.
The North End Halifax native says playing sports with his friends was the natural thing to do while growing up. He was able to move smoothly from one sport to another, as the seasons were less overlapped than they are today. And then a kid didn't have to choose as much at a young age a sport in which to specialize and make what turns out to be a lifelong commitment. With his talent, he just specialized in them all. In hockey, Stan was a rough and tumble defenseman, willing to mix it in the corners, drop the gloves when necessary, and control the play when he could. He helped the Halifax McDonald's finish 4th in the 1980 National Midget AAA Air Canada Cup, where he was a second-team All-Star. He joined the Laval of Voisin that fall and played 2 years in the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League before returning home with the Halifax Lions, who placed 3rd in the 1983 Junior A Centennial Cup. Coach and general manager John Brophy of the Voyageurs saw a little of himself in Stan in the fall of 1983 when he asked him to join the AHL club. He saw that fire and intensity that Brophy possessed when he played, and he loved that in players he coached. So Brophy never accepted less than a full effort, and that's what Stan gave him every night. And former NHL great Mike McPhee played 1 season with Stan in the American Hockey League.
Stan probably came to the Voyageurs with less hoopla than a lot of the other local players, and I would argue that he probably had as much impact as any one of the players. He was a big, strong player with some toughness that played within the confines of his talent. He may not have been the most talented player that played on the team or a local player, but he did the simple things. He moved the puck up. He took the man out in front of the net. He was a John Brophy player. If there was a point where toughness was needed, he was there. He played a good, strong game in his own end. I don't think he scored a lot of goals, if any, with the Voyageurs, but he was just a big, quiet leader.
The next season, Stan moved to Newfoundland, where his Corner Brook Royals finished 2nd in Allen Cup play, a prelude to the following season when the Newfoundland club won the National Senior Men's title, the first team from the Rock ever to capture that crown. On to football. Twice between 1974 and 1979, he was a member of the Fort Needham Argonauts, who won provincial championships. In 1979, he played at St. Pat's High School, winning league MVP and Rookie of the Year honors in the same season. In 1982, he was a quarterback with the AUS Huskies. Yet it's in softball where he probably made his greatest marks. Former national team player and coach and member of this Hall of Fame, Mark Smith, saw Stan from a very early age.
But, you know, Stan had that innate ability to be able to step it up when it mattered most, and he brought a really important intensity to the teams he played for. I know with our ball club, he was certainly one of the leaders. And if you look back on his career, both in football and in hockey, I would think that most players that have had the pleasure of playing with him would rank him as somebody who could walk the talk.